The canteen on Station Vera 9 was loud, smoky, and full of weary travelers. Merchants bargained, miners drank themselves into stupors, and mercenaries argued over cards. At a small table in the corner, Marcus Hale sat alone with a tray of lukewarm rations. He wasn't much for company. Years of hauling cargo between colonies had turned him into a quiet man. Meals were fuel, nothing more. He tore a piece of synth bread in half, dipped it into the stew, and let his thoughts drift to his next run. That was when he heard the voice. "Can we have your leftovers?" Marcus looked up. 4 children stood at the edge of his table. They were small, filthy clothes, thin frames trembling with hunger. But their eyes caught him most of all.
Blue.
Not just human blue, but bright, glowing with faint luminescence like starlight caught in water. The youngest, no older than 6, clutched the sleeve of the eldest girl, who stood straight despite her fear. All 4 looked at him with the same desperate, shining eyes. Marcus set his bread down slowly. "Where are your parents?" The girl swallowed hard. "Gone." He frowned. "Gone where?" "Gone," she repeated, voice flat with a finality that needed no more words. Marcus's stomach tightened. "Orphans. On Vera 9, children without guardians didn't survive long. Gangs or traffickers picked them up fast. And judging by their eyes, unnatural, unregistered. They were exactly the kind of children the Dominion's labs would pay richly to dissect." He glanced at his tray. Half a stew, a third of the bread. Not much. But to them, it was everything. "Sit," he said quietly, sliding the tray toward the center of the table. The youngest gasped as if it were a miracle. The children pounced, though the eldest girl tried to keep some semblance of manners. They shared each bite carefully, but hunger won quickly. Within minutes, the tray was scraped clean. Marcus leaned back, watching. Their hunger was real, but so was their bond. Each time one got more than a mouthful, another offered half back. "You've been on your own long?" he asked. The eldest nodded warily. "Since the mines collapsed." That explained it. Vera 9's mining sector had suffered a cave-in months ago. Thousands dead. The corporations never bothered with survivors if they weren't on payroll. "What's your name?" Marcus asked. "Lyra," the girl said. "These are Cairn, Vess, and Jory." She gestured to the other 3. He noticed how she spoke like an adult, not a child. Responsibility had aged her far too soon. Marcus rubbed his jaw. He should walk away. He had cargo to deliver, schedules to keep. These weren't his problem. But those blue eyes. The next morning, Marcus woke to the sound of small footsteps outside his berth. Opening the door, he found the 4 children curled against the wall, asleep in a pile. Their faces were gaunt but peaceful, trusting the thin station walls to protect them. "Damn it," he muttered. He couldn't leave them. Marcus gathered them aboard his hauler, the Iron Song. Lyra protested at first, too much pride to accept charity, but the youngest clung to his arm, and soon the others followed. The ship's galley was stocked with ration packs, bland but plentiful. The children devoured them like kings. Marcus set them to work in small ways, helping clean, learning simple mechanics, so it felt less like charity and more like belonging. Days stretched into weeks. The Iron Song was a cramped ship, but laughter began to echo through its halls again. Jory, the youngest, loved to sit in the cockpit and pretend she was steering. Vess tinkered with tools, always trying to fix things that weren't broken. Cairn, quiet and serious, shadowed Marcus to learn about engines. And Lyra, sharp-eyed, careful, watched over them all like a mother. But Marcus couldn't ignore what he had seen in their eyes. That faint blue glow. Not human. Not entirely. The truth came during a supply stop at Arjun's Belt. A patrol of Dominion enforcers scanned ships, searching for unauthorized biologicals. Marcus tensed as they boarded the Iron Song, their scanners sweeping every corner. When the device passed near the children, it beeped sharply. "What's this?" the officer demanded. "Step aside." Lyra froze. The children huddled together, their eyes glowing brighter under the scanner's light. Marcus stepped forward. "They're my crew." The officer sneered. "Crew? They're hybrids. Illegal. They belong to the Dominion for processing."
Processing.
Marcus knew what that meant. Dissection, experiments, a lifetime of suffering. "No," he said firmly. The officer's eyes narrowed. "You refuse?" Marcus's hand hovered near the console. The Iron Song's defense turrets weren't strong, but they'd make a mess in close quarters. The officer must have seen the fire in Marcus's gaze, because after a tense pause, he spat on the deck and stormed out. "You won't hide them forever." As the patrol left, Marcus turned to the children. They were shaking, clutching each other. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "We didn't ask to be like this," she whispered. "Our parents worked the mines. They said the company used chemicals in the air scrubbers.
People changed. Some died.
We lived, but different." Marcus knelt, so his eyes met hers. "Listen to me. You're not mistakes. You're not monsters. You're kids. My crew. And no one's taking you from me." Lyra's lip trembled, but she nodded. From that day on, they were a family. The Iron Song became more than a hauler, it was home. Marcus taught the children navigation, engineering, and trade. In return, they gave him something he hadn't felt in years: purpose. They traveled from colony to colony, delivering goods and always searching for places that welcomed outcasts. Some worlds turned them away, but others welcomed them for what they brought: hope, laughter, and meals shared around a common table. Kara, a Zerani cook they met on a frontier world, taught Lyra how to blend spices into Marcus's bland rations. Soon, the galleys smelled of warmth again. Everywhere they went, people whispered about the human with 4 blue-eyed children who defied the Dominion and gave orphans a future. One night, as the stars stretched endless beyond the cockpit, Lyra sat beside Marcus. "You could have left us in the canteen," she said softly. "Why didn't you?" Marcus leaned back, eyes on the void. "Because when I looked up, I saw 4 kids asking for scraps when they deserved the whole meal. And I saw blue eyes that deserved to see more than fear."
She was quiet for a long time.
Then, with a small smile, she whispered, "Thank you, Dad." The word struck him harder than any battle. Marcus didn't answer at first. He just placed a hand on her shoulder and watched the stars burn bright. For the first time in years, he didn't feel alone. Years later, legends spread across the frontier. Not of empires, not of wars, but of a single human who took in 4 strange children with glowing eyes and gave them a family. Some said he was reckless. Others called him a fool. But those who knew the truth said it plain. He had looked up when no one else did. He had shared his table. And in doing so, he had changed the fate of 4 hungry children and his own.